Today we are going to learn about the image formation in a concave lens. Fine. Last class we discussed about the terms associated with two different types of lenses, convex and concave. And today we are going to learn about the image formation, what kind of images a concave lens can form. This is a concave lens which is thinner at the center and thicker at the edges. And actually a concave lens, you just saw in this beginning of the video, a concave lens always forms virtual, erect and diminished images. Fine. As a convex mirror, we know, always forms virtual, erect and diminished images. Similarly, a concave lens forms always, whatever the position of the object may be, and we are going to see that through ray diagrams today. Now, to start drawing the ray diagrams, we have to choose two minimum incident rays from a point falling on the lens wherever the corresponding refracted rays or meet or appear to meet. That is the image point. So we have to choose two incident rays. Now, which incident rays can be chosen? We cannot choose any incident ray at random, because then it will be very difficult to draw the refracted ray. So which rays can be chosen for the ray diagram? Let us discuss that first. The very first one, we know that in case of a concave lens, this is how we draw it. Fine, I'll draw a center line here so that we can draw the incident rays and the refracted rays. Here I'm drawing the principal axis, this is the optical center. We know that if the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, refracted ray diverges and it appears to pass through focus. This is one of the rays that we can choose. That if the incident ray is parallel to principal axis, refracted ray appears to pass through focus. 1. 2. What we can do is, what we can choose is, now in second case, again this is, now you can draw freehand drawing for a concave lens if you are comfortable, or you can use a compass or a protractor for drawing the lens. Fine. So this is how we draw. Now secondly, what we say is, now the reverse is also true. That means if the incident ray is in the direction of the focus, if this is your incident ray appearing to pass through focus, then the refracted ray will be parallel to the principal axis. This is the second ray that can be chosen. Fine. If the incident ray is in the direction of focus, the refracted ray is parallel to principal axis, and you can see I've drawn the incident ray till the center line and started the refracted ray from here only. Fine, which I told you last time also we should do this. Third that we can do is, we can choose is, now which we most commonly use this ray while drawing a ray diagrams. This is the first step you have to do. Draw the lens, draw the center line, principal axis and the optical center, mark optical center. Now, the third ray that we can choose is, if the incident ray passes through the optical center, it goes undeviated, that means it goes straight. This is the third ray that can be chosen. Now the question is, why it is going straight, why it is not undergoing any refraction? Actually it is undergoing refraction, but why it is not deviated? The reason is, now this lens, if you consider, the center part of the lens is very similar to a small glass slab. Okay? Fine. As the lens is very thin, the center part is a very thin small glass slab. And when a ray of light enters a glass slab, and when it comes out of a glass slab, it undergoes lateral displacement. It is laterally displaced. And you also have read that lateral displacement depends on the thickness of the slab. So we are considering a thin lens. That means the thickness of the slab that we are taking at the center of the lens here is very less. That means the lateral displacement is almost negligible, and therefore the ray, we say, is not undergoing any displacement and is going straight without any deviation. So this is the third ray that can be chosen for drawing our ray diagrams. So out of these three rays, we can choose any two for drawing our ray diagrams. Now let's start with the ray diagrams. I'm rubbing this. Now for ray diagrams, there are only two ray diagrams to be drawn for concave lens. Case 1, we'll take object at infinity. Okay, object at infinity. So for that, we have to draw the lens. While you're drawing the ray diagrams, I've told you, you can use a compass or a protractor for drawing the lens, or you can do it with your free hand if you can draw it easily. Fine. So this is our lens. The first step, drawing the principal axis. Now we know for object at infinity, what we do is, we don't show the object and we consider the rays are coming parallel from the object, which is kept at infinity. So these are the incident rays following the lens. How will the rays refract? The rays will refract. So we have F here. So the rays refract in such a way that they diverge and they appear to meet at focus. So this is one refracted ray. The refracted ray for this will be like this. Fine. So the rays diverge and they appear to meet at focus. Now these, when you extend the rays back, it is very important to draw them straight. Fine. So if you have already marked F, draw the refracted ray in such a way that it is meeting at F. Fine. So refracted rays appear to meet at focus. So where is the image being formed? So image is formed, we can say, at F. And what is the nature of the image? Obviously the rays are not actually meeting to form the image. So the image is virtual and it will be erect, and the image is highly diminished. In case of a concave lens, highly diminished, or we can also call it point sized. Fine. So if the object is at infinity, image is at focus at f1, it is virtual because the rays are not actually meeting, erect and highly diminished. Fine. And so this is case 1. Now for case 2, we can take object anywhere between infinity and the optical center. So case 2, object we can take between infinity and O, anywhere, as I said. So we'll draw an object here. So let's again draw it. So we'll draw the lens like this. First step, draw the center line, principal axis, optical center, and we have taken an object anywhere here. Fine. And let's say this is your focus F1 here. Okay. So this is the object. Now let's say this is AB. From point A, we draw 2 incident rays falling on the lens. Fine. So let's say one incident ray is this parallel to principal axis, and we know how will it be refracted. It will be refracted like this. It diverges and appears to pass through focus. This is one incident ray. We have to draw another incident ray from point A. Another incident ray we can choose passing through O, optical center, and we know this ray will go straight without deviation. Where are these two rays meeting? They are not actually meeting. They cannot meet, obviously much visible. So they appear to meet. If we extend this ray here, the two appear to meet here at this point. So that means this is the point, image of point A. This is your image, the small arrow, and this is your A dash, B dash. But we say that the image of point B of the object is formed on the principal axis only, and image of point A is formed at A dash. So this small is your image, small arrow A dash, B dash. So image is formed. Where is the image being formed? You can see it is formed between O and F1, optical center and F1. Image is always formed between optical center and F1, and you can see image is formed on the same side as the object, right? And it is not formed by the actual intersection of rays. So image is virtual. As we can see, it is erect and it is diminished, smaller in size also. It is very much visible from the ray diagram. Fine. So these are the two ray diagrams for concave lens. We have seen that image formed in a concave lens is always virtual, erect and diminished, and image is always formed, therefore virtual image is always formed on the same side of the lens as the object. Okay. So so we know what types of images concave lens can form, and where a concave lens can be used we'll be discussing later. So that's all for the day. In the next class we'll talk about the ray diagrams and the image formation in a convex lens. Thank you. Have a nice day.